Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Town of Manlius board meeting this evening, which is again virtual and live at the same time. So to begin with, Councilor Creasy, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Should we do the open podium now, or shall I start out with the?
Probably the moment down.
Yeah.
moment sign? Okay, good. Yeah, I forgot I ordered. I haven't had one of these in a while. Again, I'm going to speak about real briefly about the 9/11 remembrance, but before I do that, I just wanted to acknowledge a recent sad passing of Mayor Henry McIntosh, who was, of course, Mayor of Fayetteville. So I just wanted to, just passed away September 4th at age 79 at his home Saturday. He was born in 1942 in Providence, Rhode Island. University of Miami graduate, attended University of Miami, graduate of Nason College. He also served in the U.S. Army 108th Military Intelligence. He was the mayor of the village of Fayetteville from 1996 to 2004. Prior to that, he was a village trustee from 1985 to 1996. He also was a member of the ZBA prior to 2 years. He also served on the Town of Manlius zoning ZBA, and he started that in 2005 up until 2018. And he was chairman the last 5 years. He was a parishioner of Immaculate Conception Church in Fayetteville. In 2019, he and his wife Donna were the recipient of the Immaculate Award. Donna, sadly, predeceased Henry in just February of this year. He is survived by his son Scott and Todd and his wife Marnie Jo, 2 grandchildren and nieces, and beloved Biscuit. I think that might be one of the dogs here. So I want to make sure we include him for the moment of silence for 9/11. Just real briefly, I would just want to introduce that I know that we all have our own memories and stories of where we were on that fateful day, September 11th, 2001, when our country was attacked by a terrorist organization, and we lost over 3,000 lives that day, that morning, I should say. So in remembrance of the tragic day, but one that we shouldn't forget, I would like to have a moment of silence for what all of us refer to now as 9/11. So if you could, please. Thank you, everyone. So now we can move on to the open podium. Again, we started just a few minutes late, but do we have anyone?
There's no one attending virtually this evening.
Okay, anyone signed in here?
I didn't see the sheet, so.
Oh, okay. As long as you signed in, unless you had something to say for an open podium.
I signed in, but I didn't, I have submitted something for the record tonight. I emailed about the return sign, corner of McLennan and 2nd Street. I did get an email response back, but I just wanted to check on that.
Yeah, why don't you come up and introduce yourself and.
While you're here.
Yeah,
It's nothing really good.
and you got our attention.
It's important.
Yes,
That's what this open forum.
That's what it's for.
I
Yeah,
saw there wasn't any, but I thank you for taking the time.
sure. Just introduce yourself and where you, if you're in that area.
My name is Grant DeGrone. I live at 223 McLennan Drive. I'm the one who had the street light thing, which I again thank the town board for taking care of.
Yeah.
This is just at the corner of McLennan and 2nd Street in the town.
Okay.
We have a lot of people who use that intersection to make turns and so on or whatever on a regular basis. And so I had just sent an email requesting if there was any possibility of putting a no U-turn sign at that stop sign there to perhaps try to dissuade drivers from doing it, just because it's, we've seen people do it on a regular basis, and it's created hazards for other drivers who are using Second Street
All
and
right.
so on, and danger for pedestrians as well. And I just wanted to bring that to the board's
Sure.
attention, just to see if it would be something to be considered.
Yeah, I mean, we have our expert highway department superintendent here
it's
who's familiar with that
certainly
area.
something-
I'm
It's
sure.
certainly something we can look at.
Yeah.
Actually, we have to look at the law on U-turn. And I'm not sure how that goes because it's actually an intersection there. And usually typically there's like a left-hand turn where they can come back around and do that where you would request for a no U-turn. Where this is an actual intersection.
Correct.
So let me look into it. Let me see what the legality side of
Because I think
putting up the
a U-turn isn't legal. Like, you shouldn't be able to make it, you don't make a U-turn.
It's not legal to do that regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, is what I'm saying. So
Especially because you've got.
Yeah, you can go either
right,
direction.
and the through streets are actually, the
Yeah.
through streets are first, second, third,
Yeah.
are the through streets, and
Yeah.
they're stopped on all the rest of the cross streets. So, it's really a dangerous situation if you're actually doing it from a stop sign and then you've got a through street coming through.
I
And
think it
that's
just
what
might be
both
some
towns-
drivers' ignorance, just not knowing that they can.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people like to use McLennan because it has a light to get out of the Route 5. So, but let me look and see legally, on the legal side, with the state and how we can
Is that
address
town
that.
roads on state?
It's all town road.
Yeah.
Looks like Tim might be looking it up right now. actually.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I want to see if we have I don't think we have provisions for no U-turns.
I don't think we do. Tim, to be honest with you. I think it might be under the MUTCD rules.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It might be on the MUTCD.
I think we should wait for Tim to read the whole thing.
It's, in other words, what I'm saying is that if the state allows certain usage of signs and it's under the MUTCD rules and
Yeah.
regs, what we abide by.
Sure.
So I just want to make sure it's legal
Sure.
if we do something like that, because obviously everything can be fought in court.
But we
my
can also
first-
have an officer.
Right, my first acknowledgement of it would be, I'm not sure, because it's not legal no matter where you do it in that
Right.
situation, you know what I mean? So if you're putting a sign up, are you defeating your purpose maybe?
Yeah.
But let me,
But if it's more prominent that it's happening.
right, yeah, but maybe it's something we can do. Let me look at the MUTCD ruling on it and, let me talk to some of the people that are above me.
Perfect.
That work in the engineering side.
Would it make sense to think about putting up one of the LED signs that says reminder, no U-turn or something just to acknowledge that it's there?
It's it would be a informational sign. So it's not like, then it's a suggested thing. U-turns, I said, I don't even know if we have an actual U-turn sign in the town of Manlius, because we have no one-way streets or anything like that.
Those like the electronic speed signs that tell you how fast you're going, similar.
Yeah. And again, there's just certain rules that where we can and can't use that, but I certainly will make sure that I get back with you and let you know one way or another. It may be not necessarily a U-turn sign, we may just do an informational sign,
Yeah.
that just says no U-turns allowed or something like that, instead of actually using the U-turn sign.
Yeah.
So that may be something that might be easier for us to do, and then we're kind of doing the same thing, but we're skirting the law a little bit. So.
Okay.
You just gotta be careful of what you do with usages of
Sure.
signs, so, but any informational sign we can put up as a town, we can put that, like. the
Like
ones we
protect
get-
your children. type
Well,
stuff,
Clemens
you
Road,
know.
there's Sweet
Yeah.
Road, Sweet Road's a perfect example that we notified, people that the oncoming traffic does not have to stop.
Right, right.
So things like that, so we could possibly put an informational sign up. It's gotta be on a separate post, we can't put it on the stop sign. Legally, we can't put anything on stop signs or speed signs, it has to be just a stop or speed.
I see.
But going up to that, we could put another sign of some sort that says it's an informational sign, no U-turns or that type of thing, or please do not use the intersection as a turnaround, or something to that effect.
Just to remind people more than anything.
Now, when did you send the email? 'Cause I don't.
I think it was sometime early this week, but I forget. I think Alice Weber may have gotten back. to me.
Okay. Did you get that?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
And then I just distribute them amongst people, but I always. say
Okay.
no to it, so.
But we'll certainly look into it for you, how's that, and I'll get back with you with an answer.
Fantastic.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
No one else in the background there. Okay. All right, well, if that's the case, then why don't we continue the meeting? So we'll move on to item number 4, which is approval of minutes for August 25th.
Mr. Supervisor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of August 25th. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion?
I
Oh.
abstain. Oh, sorry. Oh,
You're in favor.
I
Okay.
was- I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I
You were, I
wasn't there,
forgot.
so what
Thank
do
you.
I say?
Yep, okay. Opposed and it carried. Excellent. Sorry.
No, yeah, I was like,
So now we'll move on to the abstract item number 5.
So, Mr. Supervisor, I would like to make a motion to approve abstract number 17, where our highway department has been spending lots of money, in the amount of $733,271.59.
Second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Yeah, there's been a lot of
Money
money.
well spent.
There's a lot of work this summer.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of new paving.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We did drive by a cement truck today, Rob, which you know is my favorite truck.
Oh, there you go.
It was right, it just have a hybrid. And the girls also, they work for the town of Manlius, so they were all excited. And I was excited because I love cement trucks.
All right, before we move on to the next public hearing, Sarah, I think you wanted to interject a couple of items you wanted to talk about
Yeah,
with the
so-
comprehensive plan and.
So I wanted to, I think everybody's aware of this, but I just wanted to make sure it got into the minutes that the comprehensive planning steering committee is sponsoring 4 focus groups this month. September 13th on affordable housing, September 21st on historical preservation, September 27th on environmental sustainability, and September 28th for parents and caregivers. All of them will be from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Fayetteville Library. And we will be, our steering committee meeting will be in October, and we will have a compilation of the input from those
Oh.
available after that. So I just want to invite everybody, these are open. We encourage people to come. If you want to RSVP, please use comprehensive.planning@townofmanlius.org. I know it's long.
Are you posting this on the webpage?
It's on, it's in there, it's Facebook events.
And people can submit comments if for some reason you cannot attend those events and you want to submit a comment or ask a question of the steering committee, you can use that email as well, or visit the webpage, the comprehensive planning webpage within the town site.
Thank you. And the second issue I wanted to raise is we've had some conversation, it's still very preliminary with the Department of Environmental Conservation of New York State with regard to a drinking water source protection program for the Sky Ridge Water District. And we will be filling out an application for that. We don't, so it's very preliminary at the moment, but that is a potential to assist them with maintaining their water supply.
Some of the issues that they've had. Oh, so now we'll move on to item 6. Allison, of course, has prepared the resolutions in front of you today or this evening. And so what we need to do for Manoa, we can start out and do these separately, is set the public hearing date for the Manoa Fire contract. And we're looking at October 13th at 6:35. Is that right? So. need a motion.
I'd like to make the motion to set the public hearing for the contract with the Village of Manoa to provide ambulance and fire services on October 13th at 6:35.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Excellent. And again, another resolution that has been prepared. This is the Manlius Fire Contract 2022. And we're looking at probably 6:40 on the same day.
So I'd like to make a motion to set the public hearing regarding entering a contract with the Village of Manlius to provide ambulance and fire service on October 13th at 6:40.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Very good. All right, and this afternoon, we had the first budget workshop with 4 of the departments, and our next budget workshop will be a week from today, Wednesday, same time, 4 o'clock. And I don't know if we're gonna get done quite as quick as we did tonight, because we have
Probably
the
not.
police and highway. So just as a reminder, also, I will be presenting my tentative budget at 9/22.
That
So,
seems early.
yeah, I got a week and a half. So, and then we have, then on October 13th, just as a reminder, I think you've all had the schedule here. A few minor changes, but we'll be adopting the preliminary budget on October 13th. So that'll be, then we go from there. Okay.
October
Oh.
13th is also my birthday.
Oh, I'll remember that.
We keep saying
Just like I
October
remembered
13th,
yours,
so I
Heather.
said
By the way, Fayetteville, they're still working out some numbers as we heard from back
Yeah.
from Mayor Olson. So as soon as we get that information, we can set that public hearing. at the
Will
next-
we be able to make it the same day? as the
I
other
think
two?
so. We have plenty of time.
If they get it.
I have to check
10
the
days.
publication
Yeah.
timing.
That's fine.
Oh, that should be,
10-day notice.
okay, that should be good.
When did they say that they might have that over?
I do not have time.
Yeah, I can follow up with it, 'cause it was just
To
last,
get
well,
it into the
before.
newspaper would have to be on Friday.
Have they done, but they've done their hearing, haven't they?
They already passed it.
Yeah,
They passed it, yeah.
they're working on some grant money and they just wanted to finalize a couple of things before they, at least that's what the mayor sent me. So that was what how we explained it.
So I did want to let you know that Councilor Denton and I did meet with, we met with Manlius and Fayetteville for a preliminary discussion. So we, because they're changing how they're paying for their equipment, so we wanted to understand it.
What are they changing?
They're buying it on like a 10-year plan. And it's, well, Fayetteville's renting it, Manlius is buying it. It's a little complicated, but the idea is that the money would be the same every year instead of having a big increase
Oh,
when you buy an engine and then
good
going back down, but it'll
Yeah.
be flat.
Like a payment plan?
And you'll be part of that presentation when the Manlius and Fayetteville have their budget hearing, or I should say, yeah, public hearing. Okay, very good. Anything else on the fire? All right, so now we'll move on to Rob, Highway Superintendent. We're already at you. That's great.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I am like stunned over here. I can't believe.
I just want to mention, to the board, obviously, we're getting done with one big spending portion time of the year.
Mhm.
With all the summer work we've done. We're doing our last couple of projects right now, actually, and then sadly enough to say, probably next week, we'll start tearing down these trucks for winter.
Oh.
Unreal.
So,
Come on, man.
Yeah, we're actually probably, we'll be starting next week, start tearing them down. We've got two actually right now already broke down, so we'll put them back together. So,
Still really want to get that time lapse photography.
Yeah.
I know.
Camera. We'll work on
Like, we
that.
have no better social media fodder, maybe other than the recreation department and the highway department. Big trucks, like, come on, take some pictures and text them to us and we'll put them on the
I'll
internet.
have to
Can we do it?
Yeah, since we can't have the kids come out and do touch it for us
Yeah.
or visit, we should.
A
bring
time
the-
lapse video of you guys doing that would be really
So
cute.
just real quick, show of hands, who is gonna go down to the highway department and make sure all the photos are taken?
I want to do it.
Okay.
John, you
I
can
wanna
do
do
it.
Raise your hand.
No, put your hand down.
What is that, a time lapse photo?
This person helps rule my schedule, so if he's
I don't
suggesting I
know
put
what
my
to tell
hand
you.
up, I won't get in trouble.
I think John.
When we did the videos for rec, I put the time on my calendar. and I made
Oh,
sure
there
when
you
I
go.
did it, so
Yeah.
Thank you, John. for
I
putting her on
love
the
to visit
spotlight.
Well, we'll
Okay.
get you down there. We'll get
Okay.
you some pictures.
Thank
We
you.
get a bunch of them torn down here. And
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, that'd be great. I think it'd be a good
I mean,
experience.
it's like the time lapse video you could take on an iPhone. It's like enough. Like, we don't have to
Still
overdo it.
gotta be a
Right.
tripod, set it on there, set it up.
All right.
Sorry, Rob, I didn't mean to.
Oh,
like,
no,
Did you have, well, before we move
Other than
on,
that-
is there anything else? that you
I know,
have?
I am good tonight. Thank you.
Don't ever mention breaking down a truck.
No.
All right, so we'll move on. Attorney for Teske.
I
what
have
do you got?
nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, my gosh.
Ellison?
What?
Oh. Well, the chief's not here, but I think Karen might have something
Sorry,
for
the
him
chief
today.
isn't here tonight, but congratulations certainly are a must to the chief, Captain Schaefer, the entire Department, Maureen Buckland,
Yep.
the accreditation officer, for receiving again the accreditation award, New York State.
New York State.
So
Yeah.
signifying their commitment again to this community and their hard work. It is an honor to have this award, and we're privileged that they are with the town of Manlius.
We had a number that day, and it was amazing how many went back to the 90s that had been receiving this award, reaccreditations, including Tom Manlius. So.
And you abstained from that?
I had to, yes, but I was there to present the plaque to Mo,
That's
which was
good.
sort of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
was good, Which I'd never done. So,
So
You have pictures of that?
congratulations to the chief and
Gosh, yes. We're working on that. Yeah, so.
Karen,
the entire department. That's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
wonderful.
everywhere.
I was gonna say also the promotion ceremony that's coming up this week. right?
That's right, yes,
Tina Stanton.
Yep, Friday at
Yes.
2:00. Yes, Tina Stant will be promoted to lieutenant.
That's great.
So I'll be doing that, swearing in for that. So,
Very cool.
yeah, okay. Anything else, Kara, for the chief?
Listen, thank
Okay,
you.
all right. And town manager. Yeah, your plate is full right now as it is. Okay. And the only thing I had was what Karen had. So I don't have anything.
Really?
So we would.
Okay,
I'll
then I
make a
think we're on.
motion to adjourn.
My
do I-
gosh.
Do I do I have a second?
Second.
All, everybody second. All
We
in
all
favor?
second.
Aye.
Opposed? Carry. I think it's-
Whoa.
Yeah.
Six fifty-two.
This is what a short meeting